This Copa 19 Plus is part of the new Archetic Pack from Adidas. Not architect, Archetic. What does Archetic mean? I have absolutely no idea. I even Googled it and still don't know. What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Archetic Pack colorway of the Adidas Copa 19 Plus, a boot that saw a pretty controversial launch based on the colorway and the way that it looks. Obviously, it still looks the same, but the colorway is a lot different, and I would argue 100 times better than what we had from the launch. So in today's video, not only are we going to take a closer look at this colorway and I guess reevaluate the overall styling of the Copa 19 Plus, but I also want to talk tech specs and performance of what is easily the best laceless pair of football boots that I have personally ever worn, and a pair that I actually can recommend. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I am. So if you want to learn more about these, including how they fit and feel on feet, please stick around, watch the entire video, and if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $275 retail price. If you guys do end up enjoying this video and perhaps want to see a comparison between all the latest laceless models from the Adidas brand, please support this video with a like, and if you're new here watching for the first time and don't want to miss out on future content, be sure to hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. Included with the boots is a drawer style Adidas box. Because the boots are laceless, they also include a shoehorn to help with putting them on, but no string bag for some reason. For $275, I feel like they should have included a string bag. As for the colorway itself, I don't think too many people will disagree with me in saying that this is way better than the launch Initiator Pack, which I happen to have right here. And I will say that this colorway does look a lot better in person than it does look in pictures and video, but it's still a little bit unusual for what is a very Michelin Man looking boot. You could argue that this is just the reverse Michelin Man, but as a whole, given the concept, I just think that a black upper ends up looking a lot more sleek and I guess a lot less abnormal, because I think that was the main complaint that a lot of people did have with the first colorway of the Copa 19 Plus, is that it's just a little bit weird looking, kind of like a bunch of marshmallows kind of melted together. This still has that marshmallowy look, but black, like I said, just kind of hides the design a little bit more, which is a good thing, I suppose. You can see that you do have black leather. It's got a little bit of a glossy shine to it, and then the prime knit here at the collar is all black as well. A little bit of gloss detailing with the stripes and Copa branding there on the heel. And then of course the stripes on the 19 Plus are on the medial side with nothing on the lateral side, which is kind of an unusual design choice that I actually kind of like, but it does make them look kind of weird. You can see the stripes though have this, I almost want to say, kind of oil slick color changing sparkle to them. Not a wearable finish or anything like that, but just a subtle application of the three stripes. So it does look mostly like a full blackout upper. And then the sole plate, as you can see, is really, really unique in that it's this kind of blue purple color changing effect with some blue in the stud tips as well. You can see against my shirt, it does kind of have that shade of darker blue kind of in there at some point, but it does look very purple if you're wondering. And also it's quite shiny, but there was no warning sticker saying that this is a wearable finish. So as far as I know, this is a finish that should stay in place as you wear the boots in. As far as tech specs and performance is concerned, I have been very hard on laceless boots from just about everybody. I don't think it's the best way of making a pair of football boots, but this is the first time where I actually like the laceless concept given everything else that Adidas has done with this particular design. So the Copa 19 Plus is really, I would argue, the most futuristic kangaroo leather football boot ever created, and one that offers an experience that we've never really seen before from any pair of boots, which is hard to find these days because so much has been done in the football boot industry. What you're going to find with this upper is the back part is prime knit, the front part is kangaroo leather, and the two elements come together by way of a process that they call fusion skin. So you can't really see the seams that much, but basically from this little seam that you can actually see forward, the boot is kangaroo leather. From there back, it's mostly prime knit and fused material, so it's a little bit firmer through the midfoot. The kangaroo leather at the front is extremely soft and very, very thin. It has this kind of pillowy effect to it. That's what makes it feel so soft. When you put the boots on and it kind of stretches out around your foot, it ends up being a lot thinner than you might expect. almost providing a barefoot feel, but at the same time, because it's so soft, it does give you that familiar kangaroo leather sensation in regards to comfort as well as overall touch. Through the midfoot, like I mentioned, because of this fusion skin process, it's much thinner and it needs to be more structured. A lot of people, including myself, were very concerned when these first came out that overstretching was going to be an issue. And admittedly, the fit in the forefoot and toe box area is not particularly tight, and the leather will stretch and get a little bit more sloppy, but the midfoot does seem to hold its shape over time, being that it isn't made from a natural leather material. It's a pretty structured, kind of plasticky, prime knit reinforced type thing. Not exactly sure how to describe it, but it does seem to hold your foot in place pretty decently well, given that the boots fit you properly. And then the back part of the boot, as you can see, is that prime knit. It's got what I would consider to be a low cut, a little bit of extra padding inserted around the sides of the ankle, which you don't really notice when you're playing, to be fair, but it's an interesting idea. And then of course an internal heel counter. Moving to the rear of the shoe, I have heard some people complain about this little piece at the back kind of rubbing against the back of the Achilles tendon, causing some minor blistering. That is something that can happen with any kind of slightly extended collar. Again, wouldn't necessarily call this a mid cut, but that can cause irritation depending on how sensitive you are to that type of thing. And then internally, the heel liner is a really nice synthetic suede with a decent amount of padding that does seem to grip your heel pretty well. I wouldn't say heel lockdown is tremendous. It's not really tremendous on any laceless boots, but it does seem to work well, again, given that they fit you properly. The insole is fully removable, and you can see it features a nice synthetic suede lining on top. It's got the Copa branding there at the heel with a little bit of extra soft foam underneath the liner that honestly you don't really feel when you have the boots on your feet. And it's made from a single layer of ortholite foam. That's actually pretty decent. It's actually one of the nicer insoles currently on offer from the Adidas brand. Moving on to the sole plate and stud pattern, this features their new exo frame sole plate, which I guess looks a little bit more complicated than it actually is. It's a standard plastic construction, a little bit on the stiffer side out of the box, but it does get more flexible over time. Perhaps you could argue that a slightly more flexible sole plate would have been better, given how soft and flexible the leather is on the upper, but again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And then the stud pattern is the same layout we're used to seeing across the entire Adidas brand right now, with kind of this combination of perfectly rounded studs and then kind of this, I almost want to say triangular, but it's kind of got rounded sides to it. So this traction you get from this boot is going to be more along the lines of something, I guess, a little bit more traditional in that it's not overly aggressive. The studs definitely have some decent length to them, and it is technically FG-AG, I suppose, although the durability of this boot on artificial grass long term, I would be a little bit concerned with, and I think the studs are slightly too long for artificial grass, but you definitely can wear it on that surface if you need to. Despite having a very speed boot-esque silhouette, the Copa 19 Plus is not as light as some of the other options in this category, although nothing really feels like a Copa 19 Plus either. In a size 9.5 US, these guys weigh in at about 8.4 ounces, which is by no means heavy, but you do have lighter options out there if you're looking for something that strictly has a kangaroo leather upper and a modern design. The Tiempo Legend 7 Elite, as an example, is a full ounce lighter, if not even a little bit more than that, in comparison to the Copa 19 Plus. So there are lighter options out there, but I think if you're interested in this boot, you're probably not going to have issues with the weight. On feet, the Copa 19 Plus fits me quite well out of the box, but it's also one of those boots that's really difficult to compare to anything else because it does have such a unique type of fit and feel about it. It's kind of one of those boots that goes from snug to tight to snug again, meaning that the forefoot and toe box area where it's kangaroo leather, that's going to be the widest point in the upper. It has a nice snug fit, but of course that leather will stretch, something to be aware of. Then it gets really tight through the midfoot. It's actually a much firmer material than it might look like it is. And then you're going to find that it kind of goes back to just being more snug in the heel. It's not particularly tight because they are laceless. Your heel will move a little bit as they get up on my toes. That's kind of a common thing with any laceless boot. So again, depending on how well they fit you, heel slippage could be a bit of an issue. If you like that super locked in feel, not only would these be a bad idea, but laceless boots in general, probably not for you. They have a snug fit, but they're certainly not going to be overly responsive or locked in on your feet. But given the style of boot that it is, something that is a soft leather upper, I don't necessarily mind that they aren't super, super tight and secure on my feet. It gives it that little bit of an old school feel that to a certain extent they were going for with this design, despite it being so futuristic with the whole laceless concept. As far as the overall fit is concerned, it's not a very wide fitting boot through the midfoot. So if you have a wide midfoot or you don't like a tight fitting midfoot, probably not a great option. And really, once you put them on, that's really what's going to determine whether or not they're right for you, because as with any laceless boot, once they're on, there is no adjustability. So it's kind of one of those products you have to try on. But I will say that if you have really wide feet, you're probably not going to find these overly comfortable. And then as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing these in my usual size 9.5 US, and the fit and the length is pretty much perfect. So if you are looking to get a pair, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So in conclusion, I have to say that I really do like the Copa 19 Plus. Is it my favorite boot from the Adidas brand right now? It comes pretty close, but I have to give that title to the X18.1. However, if you gave me these boots to wear for the entire season, I would not be upset about it. And I think the main appeal of the Copa 19 Plus is the fact that it is so unique. I've never worn anything that fits or feels quite like this boot. Is it the best when you're talking about objective performance? Probably not, but if you're into the concept, I think you're gonna have an enjoyable experience. Anyways, guys, that's it for my review. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. If you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself in this colorway or the launch color or upcoming colorways, first link down below, that'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. You'll be able to pick these up below their normal $275 retail price. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. Subscribe for more videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. All my social media information is linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.